Hello everyone. In this video, I am going to show you exactly how to mod a stellar blade from start to finish. We'll extract the game files using fmodel, edit the mesh in Blender, package everything with Unreal Engine, and finally make a custom 3D mod for Eve. This guide has everything you need, so let's get into it and make a stellar blade look even hotter. The first thing we need is fmodel. Go to this website, link is in the video description, and download it like this. This tool lets us extract the game files so we can edit them. After downloading, open the file with WinRAR or 7-zip and extract the fmodel.x file into a new folder. Drag and drop. Now open that folder and run fmodel. Next, you should see this setup menu. First, go to the directory section and click on this three dot. Then, here, navigate to your Stellar Blade game installation folder. By default, it's in Steam Apps, Common, Stellar Blade. Inside that, select the SB folder and confirm. Next, go to Unreal Engine version section and click this. Then choose version 4.26. This is the version Stellar Blade was built on. Finally, click OK. fmodel will launch, and you might see some pop-ups. If you see an error, just click OK. Then an important message may appear saying there is an update available. Click Download Latest Release and confirm. Always keep fmodel updated. After updating, fmodel will restart automatically and start loading the game files on the left side. Once done, you're good to go. If you've used fmodel before, it might skip the setup menu and go straight to the interface. In that case, just update it like before and let it restart. After that, go to the top menu, choose Directory, then choose Selector. This will bring up the setup menu again, so just set it up and click OK. Alright, fmodel is updated and the files are loaded. The next thing we need is a mapping file. Go to this GitHub page, link is in the description, and download the mapping file like this. It should be a USMap file format. Save it somewhere easy to access. Now, go back to fmodel, open Settings at the top, then go to General, then Advanced, and enable the Local Mapping File option. Click this next to it, and locate the mapping file you downloaded. This is it. Select it and click Open. Now, come to the Model section in fmodel. Here, we need to change the export options for our mesh. Select the export format and choose Unreal Engine UE format, UE model, this option. Leave everything else as default. You can also change the texture export format here if you want to, but I leave it on PNG. Finally, hit OK. That's all. Now we are ready to export the files. Let's do it. On the left side, you'll see all the game files. Everything we need is here. We are going to load everything, all of the files. So first, change the loading mode to all. Then click Load. You'll be directed to the folder section. Here, you'll see a folder named SB. Expand it. Then expand the Content folder. Here, inside each folder, there is a type of file, like 3D models, textures, videos, sounds, texts, and more. You can tell by the folder's name. The base character models, the actual 3D models, and their textures are inside the art folder. Expand it. Now you'll see more specific folders. The character models are in the character folders, so we expand it. Inside that, you'll see more subfolders with specific names like monster, which contains the enemies you fight in game, NPC, for non-player characters, PC, which stands for player character, and that's Eve. That's the folder we need, since I am going to make a mod for Eve's model. When you expand that folder, you'll see even more subfolders. Each of these is a different model for Eve. She has a lot of outfits, and each of these folders is one of them. They are named with ID numbers. To figure out which ID is which outfit, check out this ID list here. Or you can just open and preview the models yourself to find out. You'll also find Eve's head and hair assets here as well. So now, let's pick a model to export and edit. I'll use the base model, the one we get at the beginning of the game. It's inside this folder, CHP-Eve09. When you expand that, you'll see a few other subfolders like textures and materials. Each have their own files inside them. Now, to view the actual files, make sure the folder is selected. It should be highlighted. Then go to the top menu and click Packages. This will show all the files inside that folder you selected. These are the 3D models and their physics assets. You'll see one that has a clean name, just an ID number. That's the base 3D model. The others with names like physics are for physics, leave those alone. And anything with type B or type C in their name are the alternate versions of the model. I am modding the base one, and this is the base one, and this is the file I need. Double-click the model file to open it in the 3D viewer. Now you can inspect the model. As you can see, this is the one we want. On the bottom left, you can view the materials assigned to this model. If you right-click and choose Show, you can toggle their visibility and find out which material is assigned to which part of the body. And on the right side, you'll see the textures assigned to these materials you selected. And other important infos like which skeleton file this model is using can be also found here. These are important. We'll need them later. Okay, after you find your model, close the 3D viewer and let's export. Right-click on the file and choose Save Model. Wait for it to export. Give it a few seconds. After it's done, you'll get a notification. You can click on the link to go directly to the file location. But let's go there manually to find out and understand the structure. Go to fmodel installation directory, and you'll see an output folder. Open that, then open exports. Inside, you'll see game and SB folder. The game folder contains the mesh file. If you open each folder inside the game folder, step by step, you'll reach the exported mesh file. The folder structure inside here is the same as fmodel. That's important to know. And inside the SB folder, you'll find the textures and the materials. Everything used by this model is exported into its corresponding folder. And all the files are named correctly, which is also something important. Now, all we have to do is edit them using software that can handle these type of files. Now, we need Blender. Go to the official website and download the latest version. Once it's downloaded, install it like any normal software. It's quick and easy. We are going to use Blender to edit the mesh file. After we install Blender, we need to download the UE Format Blender plugin. Head over to this GitHub page, link is in the description, and download the plugin like this. We need this plugin to open the mesh file we exported from fmodel with the format we choose. Next, go to this GitHub page and download the FBX fix file. This fix is required for modding Stellar Blade, otherwise things won't work properly after exporting the file. Once you've downloaded and installed Blender, then downloaded the plugin and the FBX fix file, it's time to set them up. Here is the FBX fix file, and this is my Blender installation directory. Navigate to your installed Blender version folder. Then go into Scripts, Add-ons Core, IOScene FBX. Now, open the FBX fix zip file and go inside this folder. Then go inside the IOScene FBX folder in that and select all the contents inside. Now put these files and folder into the IOScene FBX folder in your Blender installation directory. It will ask you to replace files. Choose Replace All and Overwrite. That's it. FBX fix is now installed and enabled. Now let's open Blender and install the UE format plugin. Open Blender using the Blender X file. On the launch screen, select General to start a new project. Alright, welcome to Blender. To install the plugin, go to the top left and click Edit and Preferences. In the Preferences window, go to the Add-ons tab. Now, in the top right corner, click this. Then select Install from Disk. Here, locate the UE format plugin file we downloaded earlier. Select it and click Install from Disk. Once it's installed, use the search bar to search for UE and make sure the plugin appears and is checked. Once you see it's enabled, you can close the Preferences window and you're good to go. Back in the Layout workspace, select all the default objects, the cube, the camera, the light, and press Delete to get rid of them. Then switch to the Modeling workspace from top here. Now we are ready to import the mesh and start editing. To import the model, go to File, Import, and here you should see an option called Unreal Model Import. That's the plugin we just installed. Click on it. Now, in this window, we need to locate the mesh file we exported earlier from fmodel. Find the file and select it. Now let's change some settings. There is two things we need to change. First, come to Scale and change it to 1, number 1. Then uncheck Import Sockets option, this option. Uncheck this. Only keep Import Morphs targets and uncheck the rest. And that's it. Finally select Import Model and wait for it to load. And there it is, we've got our model imported into Blender. Before we continue, make sure to do this step. Come to Scene Properties from here, it's this icon, click on it. And open Units. Then locate Unit Scale. Click on it and enter 0.01 and enter. Alright, we are good to go. To navigate around the viewport, you can use the tools on the right side here. Everything you need are available here to navigate, but you can also use shortcuts like middle mouse to rotate, Shift plus middle mouse to pan, and scroll backward and forward to zoom. Now let's see what we've got. Come to the right-hand panel. This is the outliner. Everything imported into Blender or added in the scene will be listed here. So, this here is the armature, the bones, the skeleton of the model. We use this to pose or animate the model. In-game, it's responsible for all the movements and animations. If you expand the armature, you'll see the main 3D object. That's the actual mesh. And if you expand that again, and this, you'll see the materials. These controls the textures of different part of the model. Right now, we have all the materials imported, but the textures aren't assigned or imported. That's why the model looks colorless. But we don't care about that. Not here, not in Blender, not while we are making edits to the mesh in Blender. The textures will be handled later inside Unreal Engine. So now we are ready to edit. You've got multiple ways to mod this model. You can delete parts of it, parts of the body, parts of any object on the model, and that will affect in the game too. You can reshape the model, make changes to breast, change the body parts or out of it in any way you want, and that will affect in the game too. Or you can replace the entire thing with another custom 3D model. That's actually what I'm doing in this video. I'll be replacing this model with my custom one. I'll explain exactly how to do each method, deleting, reshaping, or fully replacing, step by step. So let's get into it. To delete or reshape parts of the model, first click on the mesh, then come to this section and switch to edit mode. Now we are in edit mode. Here you can select specific parts of the model and either reshape or delete them. Let's say I want to edit the breast area. To select it, click and hold on this icon here to choose your selection type. Now, select the part you want. If you let go and hold Shift, you can keep selecting more parts. And if you hold Control, you can deselect the specific parts. Once you've selected the area, come up to the top bar and enable proportional editing option. It's this option. Then choose one of the transform options, like move, and try to move the area. Now use your mouse scroll wheel while dragging to control the size of the influence area. That halo shows how far the edit will affect the surrounding mesh. If you want to scale the selected area instead of moving it, then choose the scale tool and adjust it. And remember, any edits you make here will show up in the game once we package the mod. Now let's say you want to remove parts of the model, like a cape or armor parts. Simply select the part in edit mode, press the delete key, and then choose vertices. That will remove the selected section. If you want better control while selecting, come to the top right and switch to wireframe view. These are viewports. And enable transparency option. That way, you can easily select through the mesh and get cleaner selections. There are also some automatic selection tools you can use. For example, after selecting a few vertices, go to the top menu and click Select. Select Linked and Linked. This will auto-select everything connected to the area you picked. Here is a more efficient way to work. In edit mode, press A to select everything. Then right-click and choose Separate by Material. This will break the mesh into multiple objects based on their materials. Now, in the outliner top right panel, you'll see the model split into different parts. You can click on each one you want and press Delete to remove it. Remove the entire object. Or click the small dot icon next to it to enter the edit mode for just that piece, to edit only that part. If you hold Shift or Control, you can select multiple of them and enter multiple of them in the edit mode at the same time and edit them. So let's say I select this plastic cape and delete it, maybe remove a few other pieces too. Then export this edited version and package it with Unreal Engine. Once we install the mod, you'll see those edits reflected in the game directly. And if you plan to join all the objects together as one again, select them in the outliner by holding Ctrl and multi-select, and then come to Object from here, then Join, and done. But now let's move on to the most important and real part. Have to replace the entire model with a new one. So, to replace the existing model with a completely new one, like swapping this body mesh for a different model, here is what you need to do. First, make sure your original model is already imported into Blender with the correct settings. Now, we need to find a 3D model, a new 3D model, to replace it with, right? You can either make one yourself or download a free one from various websites. Check out this video I made where I show where you can get free 3D models and have to set them up for modding. For example, this is the model I got for free from Smodbase. I did some adjustments and edits, and I ended up with this one right here. I removed the head and hair because I just needed the body. Now, here are two key factors your 3D model needs to have in order to replace the original correctly. One is a skeleton. These bones must be present. We'll use them to adjust the pose of the new model to match the original one. Next is textures. Your model should come with its own texture files. They usually come with the mesh, sometimes in PNG, TGA, or other formats. They all work. These are my files. This is my mesh file, the 3D model, and inside this folder, I have the textures for it. It's ready to go. My model textures are applied on the model inside Blender. That's why I see them on the model. If you don't, that doesn't matter. That just means they are not applied. What matters is you have these texture files. So once you confirmed your model has both bones and the textures, let's mod. Back in Blender. With your original model already in Blender, go to File, Import. Then choose the correct file format for your new model. Mine is FBX, so I choose FBX. Now locate your new model file, new mesh model file. Select it and leave the settings as default and import it on top of the original one. And here it is. The new model has been imported. If you check the outliner, you'll see the files. This is the original model. We'll leave this alone for now. And this is the new one, which comes with its own armature, containing the outfit and the body mesh inside it. Yours can have more objects, and that's normal. I just have two. So, as you can see, the position and the size of the new model doesn't match the original one. We are going to fix that first. Here is how. Make sure you're in object mode. Then select the new model's armature. Now, use the Move, Rotate, and Scale tools to position and resize the model until it fits the original model's placement. This is a simple but important step, so take your time here and try to line it up as close as possible. Alright, I am done with the basic alignment. This is as close as you need to get. Next, we'll use some other editing methods to match the new model even better. The most helpful one is pose editing. So select your new model's armature, the skeletons. Then switch to pose mode from up here. Now, we can select the bones and manually adjust the pose to match the original model. For example, my model's arms don't align properly, so let's fix that. Just select the bones of the part you want to adjust, like the shoulder joint. Then use the rotate tool to match the pose. You can also move or scale the bones if needed, like making the arm taller or shorter. To see the bones more clearly, go to the Object Data Properties tab. Then under Viewport Display, enable the In Front option. This makes all the bones visible, so you can select them easier, but it's a bit messy. You can also change how the bones are displaying. Choose whichever display style you prefer. Then come back and continue posing. Here is what I recommend. Start with the body bones. Check if the upper waist and the torso needs adjustments. Select a few bones. See how they affect the model and tweak them as needed. First, adjust them, then let's move to the rest. You can always undo your move with Ctrl+Z. If you do a mistake, press Ctrl+Z and Ctrl+Shift+Z to redo your move. After the body, move on to the shoulders. Check if you need to bring them closer or spread them out a bit. It's important to match them in a way that the new model overlaps the original one as closely as possible. After the shoulders, move to the left arm. Start at the shoulder joint here. And when adjusting bones, if you hold Shift, you can move them more precisely. After this done, move to the elbow. And after elbow is done, move to the fingers. These are the most important one, fingers. Make sure each finger is in the right position. Yeah, it takes time, but it's worth it. Precision here makes the final mod look way better in game. So let's do that. Okay, I am done with the left arm, and this is how it looks. This is good enough, very good. Once you're done too, move on to the right arm. You can do the same adjustments manually, or here is a faster way. Box select all the bones that we edited in the left arm, and press Ctrl+C to copy the pose. Then select the right arm bones, and press Ctrl+Shift+V to paste the mirrored version. And done. If the bones are named correctly, with L and R, which is left and right, this will work. If it doesn't, then bones are not named correctly. No worries, just do the right arm, the other arm, manually. Simple. After the arms are done, move on to the legs. Just like before, edit the left leg first. Check size and position and adjust it as needed. And if you're a feet guy, make sure the toes are aligned too. Okay, once the left leg is done, select the bones and copy, then mirror the pose using Ctrl+Shift+V, just like before. Now take a final look. Check if everything is lined up well. In my case, it looks good, but there is one more step that we can take to perfect it even more. Let's do that. Alright, switch back to object mode and hide the armature so you have a clear view of the model. Now select your new model. If it has multiple objects, hold Ctrl and multi-select them. Then switch to edit mode. Now you'll notice that the edits we made in pose mode are no longer visible. That's normal. Come to the Properties tab and click on the wrench icon. This is the Modifiers tab. Now on the Armature modifier, enable these two options. Do this for each object of your new model. This will make the pose edits from the pose mode visible in the edit mode. Now let's start editing further. From here, You can fine-tune the model just like before. Select parts of the mesh, move, scale, and rotate them. Enable or disable proportional editing for more control over soft selections. Adjust anything that looks off. Take your time. Okay, finally, once you're satisfied, save your Blender project. This way, if Blender crashes or something goes wrong, you won't lose your progress, and you can always load back the same project. Now, we need to handle something very important. Since we are replacing the entire body model, the original body mesh will be deleted, right? And this new model will take its place. But the head and the hair are separate models. They are not part of the body mesh. So we must make sure that this new body model lines up properly with the game's original head, especially the neck area. They are gonna clip in neck area. It's not correctly lined up at the moment, so we have to fix that. Here is how we do that. Open F-model and locate the head mesh. Since I am modding Eve, her head mesh is located under PC, CHP Eve head. Inside this folder, you'll find multiple head versions. Use this one. It works great. Right-click it and choose Save a Model, just like before. Once it's exported, you'll find it in the same directory as the body mesh. Okay, this is the file. Copy the path from the bar. Now, go back to your Blender project. Go into File, Import, UE Model. Paste the path here and enter. And locate the head model. This is it. Select it and import it with the same settings as before. And there we go, the head model is in the scene. Now let's check. The original body and the head match perfectly, but the new model doesn't line up with the head as we expected. So hide the original body and don't touch the head mesh. Now adjust the neck area of the new body model. Select the neck vertices of your new model. Move and align them as closely as possible to the head's neck. You can hide your other objects that are in the way and edit the model that you want more clearly. I have to edit both at the same time because both of them are affecting the same area. And we don't want to join the meshes, we just want to close the gap and avoid any overlaps. In most cases, we get them close and then use part of the outfit, like a collar or shirt, to cover the seam between the neck and the body. If your outfit doesn't cover the area, like you have just the body model there is no outfit on it, you can import a neckless model separately and place it there to hide the transition. One more thing, make sure the outfit mesh is above the body and the neck. That avoids weird clipping issues in the game. Take your time with this and make it look clean. Okay, once everything looks good, select the head model's armature and objects, and delete them. We don't need them anymore. Alright, this step is done. Go to the object mode, and let's move on to the next step. Now comes the most important part of this entire process, transferring weights. Weights till the armature, the bones, the skeleton have to move each part of the 3D model. What we are going to do is assign the weights from the original model to the new one. So the new body moves perfectly with game's original skeleton. Here is how. First, in object mode, make sure new model's armature is visible, along with all its objects. Then select each object of your new model one at a time. Then go to the wrench icon, Modifiers tab. And under the armature modifier, click this button and apply. Apply the modifier like this. Repeat this for every object of your new model. Not the original model, the new one. Next, select your new model's armature and press Ctrl+A and choose All Transforms from Apply. So apply all transforms. After that's done, hit the Delete key and remove the new model's armature completely. Now you'll be left with only the new model's mesh objects. They might look scattered in the outliner, but that's fine. Now select each of your new model's objects one at a time. Go to the green triangle icon. This is the Object Data Properties tab. Under Vertex Groups here, click this drop-down and select Delete All Groups. Do this for all your new objects. This step removes rigging data from the model's original skeleton. If your model doesn't have any groups here, just leave it as it is. And now your model is clean and ready for weight transfer. But before we transfer the weights, there is one thing we should do. It's important. And that's setting up the correct materials for the new model. This is technically a texture-related step, not weight transfer, but this is the perfect time to take care of it. So, expand the original model in the outliner and find its materials. These are my original model's materials. Now, expand your new model's object and look at their materials. For example, my new model's body has one material, and the out of it also has one. Sometimes you may have multiple materials per object, like separate ones for arms or legs and etc. It all depends on how your texture files are set up. Now we need to replace the materials on the new model with the original materials from the game's model. So let's first identify the original model's materials. To identify them, you can open the mesh in FModel and view the materials section and hide them to identify. This helps you figure out which material is for the skin, which is for the out of it, and so on. And the names of the materials are the same in Blender. Okay, I find that this skin named material is body material, so I use this for my body model. And this material named suit is for out of it part. It's best I use this for my out of it model. And you can use any other existing materials, it doesn't have to be an exact match. But I like it this way. Okay, close FModel and get back into Blender. And here you have to replace the materials. Select your new object, for example the body. Go to the Material Properties tab. This is it. In the Material section, select the current material, then click the drop-down. Here you see all the materials we have in this Blender project, the original model's materials included. Now choose the material you want to replace it with. In this case, I choose skin. So, repeat this process for all your materials one by one. Each my object have just one. So, for my out of it object, I replace its material with suit, this one. And that's it, we are done. Now your model is clean, materials are set, and we are finally ready for weight painting. If your new model has more materials than the original game model, you might get stuck here, because you won't be able to replace all of them using the game's original materials, right? So here are 3 simple options to fix that. The most simple approach is to use a different 3D model. Look for another model that already has fewer materials, ideally 4 or 5, to make the process much easier. Option 2 is to bake the textures. This process lets you combine multiple textures into one single image, then apply that into the entire model. Once baked, you can assign one material into the whole model and add that one single baked image, and that works. Option 3. Merge textures, then edit UV maps. First, combine all your separate texture files into one single texture image using Photoshop or any image editor. Then go into Blender and edit your model's UV maps to match the new combined texture. This allows you to use just one material across multiple objects or body parts. All of these methods are easy to learn, especially the third one. If you're not sure how, just Google bake textures in Blender or merge UV maps and textures. There are lots of good tutorials out there. I'll also leave some helpful links in the video description. Now let's prepare for weight transfer. We will transfer weights object by object. But before we start, there is one major thing we need to take care of. You must clean up the original model. You must remove the unnecessary extras. What do I mean by that? Well, the original Eve model has accessories like the plastic cape, cravat, and some other stuff. But your new model probably doesn't have those parts. So if you leave them in, their weights can blend into the new model during weight transfer, and specifically if they are close, which some of them are. That can seriously mess up your new model's deform in-game. So here is what you do. Hide your new models for now. Hide them all. Select the original model and switch to edit mode. Press A to select all, then right-click and separate by material. Now go through those pieces and decide what to keep and what to delete. For example, I don't need the plastic cape, so I delete that completely, the entire thing. But some parts, like the cravat, are attached to the body. I can't just delete the whole thing. So this is what you do. We only select the unwanted parts. We don't want the cravat, right? But it's attached to the body. So we only select the cravat part and press delete, then choose vertices. And it's gone. This is how you deal with this case. We can also use tools like select linked, which is very useful in these times. You can also change the viewport for better access. And when you're deleting, be careful. If you delete something and end up with holes or part of the body is missing completely, you'll have nothing for that area to transfer weights from. So only delete the stuff that's really unnecessary and won't leave missing parts on the body. And as you can see, my original model, after I delete some parts, I have a gap on my neck part. Well, I checked. This part doesn't affect my new model, so I should be fine. And it all depends on your model. If it's complex, then process is complex. If it's simple, then process is simple. There is an inner suit for Eve. If you work with that model, it's much easier. There is no extras to delete and it's very good for beginners. Okay, let's final check. Unhide your new models. Now, look at tricky areas like underarms. If your new model isn't aligned properly there, you'll get weird deforms in game. Also make sure your lower body, like the crotch or waist, lines up with the original models. It's very important. Okay, let's transfer weights from the original model to the new one. First, go to Object Mode. Select all original model objects. Then, go to Top Menu, Object, and Join. This will merge them into one single object again, and this will make things simpler. But do not do this for the new objects. Now, I have one single joined original object, original model, and two new ones, two new models. Next, select the original model first. Make sure it's highlighted. Then hold Ctrl and select one of the new models. I select body. Now switch to weight paint mode from here. It's this one. Your selected new model should turn blue. After that, go to the top menu and click Weights and choose Transfer Weights. This will open a menu on the bottom left. Expand it and let's change some settings. Vertex mapping. Set it to nearest face interpolated. Source layers. Set it to by name. And that's it. You just transferred weights. Now go to object mode and do the same thing for your other models. First, select the original model, then select your new one. This time I select the out of it. And again in the weight paint mode, go to weights and transfer weights. The options are already set, so we are done. Now we need to add armature modifier to our new models. Make sure you're in object mode. Now select one of your new models and go to modifier tab, the wrench icon. Click add modifier and go to deform and select armature. Now in this object field, click on it and select the original armature. It's this one. Now select your other model and do the same thing. Add the armature modifier and connect it to the original armature. Now the new models are fully rigged with the original skeleton. Let's test it. Hide the original model. Unhide the armature. Select the armature and switch to pose mode. Try rotating some bones. Select the shoulder bones and rotate. If your model moves correctly, that means it works. For me, it works fine. But how does it move? Is it buggy or it's smooth? Well, in most of the cases, it looks nice. In most of the times when I am moving the bones, as you can see, it looks good. This is good. But when it comes to legs, when I move the leg bones this way, I can see some problems in this area. The bones I moved stretching some part of the model that they shouldn't. This also happens in this area. And it's very simple to fix. Let me show you how. First, pose your model in a way that you can spot these problems and leave it like that. Then do this. Okay. First, make sure you're in object mode. Then, we select the new models that they have this problem. For me, it's body and out of it at the same time. So I select them both. Then, I enter weight paint mode again. After you're in, from the outliner, you can switch between objects that you selected by clicking on this dot, and that will activate them. Then you can edit that object in weight paint mode. Now, do this. Come to Properties, and go to Object Data Properties, green triangle icon. Now, in the Vertex Group section here, you'll see list of bones. Each one of them is a bone. Scroll through them, one by one, and select them when you do that. And watch the affected area on your model. Wait for it to change color. When it does, then that's the one you need. Then that's the bone that affects that area. Okay, when you find the right bone, zoom into the problem area. Then on the left, select the blur tool. It's this one. Adjust the radius and the strength as needed. Then gently paint over the area. The blur tool will smooth and balance the weights, and that's what you need to fix this problem. And keep in mind, sometimes multiple bones, more than one, affects the same problem area. So find those and repeat the same step for them also. Paint over them. Do this for other parts of the model as well. Check all angles and fix them one by one. And when you're done with the body or with the out of it, switch between them. Hide the out of it and switch to body. Then again, same bones, same problems, same solution. And don't waste your time trying to make the weights perfect for unrealistic poses. Poses your character will never make in the actual game. That's just pointless. And I am done. The issue is fixed. Let's get ready to export. First thing after fixing the weights is resetting the pose to normal. We can't leave it like this. So to do that, switch back to object mode, select the armature, then switch to pose mode. Press A to select all the bones, then go to pose, clear transform, all. Now we are good to go. Go back to object mode. Now unhide the original model and select it and delete it. Just the model, not the armature. You should now have the original armature and your new model's object. Next, select the armature, double-click its name, and rename it exactly to armature with a capital A. If you don't do this, your character will be stuck in A pose in the game. You can also rename your model objects, and you can still edit them, it's up to you. But don't touch the materials, not them, not their names. Anyway, now we are ready to export. Go to File, Export, FBX. This is the format we want. Now here, let's set up export settings. Most settings can stay default. Scroll down to Geometry, and set this smoothing to face. Then come to armature and disable add leaf bones option. Now the most important part, come to the stellar blade section. This option appears because we installed the FBX Fix add-on. Enable Fix Inverted Bones. Then under skeleton file, choose Eve if you're modding Eve. If you're modding Lily, choose Lily. Now choose a location to export your FBX file. Anywhere works. Next, the second most important part. The file name must exactly match the original file name that we exported from fmodel, the one we are modding. Otherwise the mod won't work. So, open that directory, find the original mesh file, and copy its name. Not the extension, just the name. Now paste that into the export field in Blender. This is how it should look. Then finally hit Export FBX. That's it. The file is ready. You can now move on to Unreal Engine and import this, then assign textures and package the mod. Now we need Unreal Engine. We're gonna get it from Epic Games Launcher. So, first, download the Epic Games Launcher from its official website. Link is in the video description. After you download it, install the platform like any regular software. It's so simple. Then launch the platform and make sure to create an account and log in. It's free. Once you're in, on the left side, go to the Unreal Engine section. Then from top here, go to the Library tab. Here you'll see Engine section. Click on the plus sign to add one. Now click on the Engine version button. Then this will show you a drop-down list of available versions. Look for version 4.26.2. Find it and select it. Then click Install. Choose a directory where you want it to install and let it download and install. After it's done, you should be able to launch it. So go ahead and click Launch. It will take a little time to set up things, and eventually it will bring up the project setup menu. This is it. We are now going to set up this and build a project. Okay, here select Games. Then from bottom, click Next. Now choose the blank template. Then click Next again. Set project type to Blueprint. set the platform to desktop and console, set quality to maximum quality, and set this to no starter content. And make sure ray tracing is off. Now scroll down to project name and name it SB, which stands for Stellar Blade. You can change the install directory if you want, but I leave it as default. Finally, click Create Project and wait for it to load. Once it's done, it will launch Unreal Engine. And that's it. Welcome to Unreal. Now let's set this up. Come to this content browser and maximize it. The only workspace we need is this. Now click on this to show the source panel as well. Okay, here we must make the exact same folder structure that we have in fmodel for our model. Then we'll import the edited files inside it. So let's do that. Open fmodel, and after you load the files, make sure you're in the folder section. Navigate to your files folder path and expand them. So this is the folder path for my edited mesh file. If you edited only a texture or any other file, this is the same thing you must do. Locate the path. Then put this to a side like this, so you can also have access to Unreal and see the path in fmodel. Then start making these folders in Unreal. Go inside the content folder in Unreal and start from there. Right-click in this empty area and choose New Folder. Now name this new folder Art, because that's the second folder in my file path. And again, open the Art folder, right-click, create a new folder, but this time name it Character. That's the third folder in my file path. We are just following the path. Open the Character folder and create a new folder, this time name it PC. Then inside PC, make another new folder and name it the character model folder name. For me, it's CHPEVE09. Now, open that and create another folder inside and name it Textures. This is where we put the texture files. And still in the character ID folder, make another folder beside the textures and call it Materials. This is where we put the materials. Every model has these folders inside them. So if you're editing materials and textures too, you need both. You need everything you're editing. And that's it for now. We can import. So the mesh file is inside this directory, right? It's inside this folder. So go inside it, then click Add or Import, and choose Import To. Then in this window, locate the FBX file we exported from Blender and select it. Then click Open, and you'll see this menu. Here, you can change the import options, but everything is fine by default. Just make sure it looks like mine, then click Import or Import All. Give it a few seconds to load. And there we go. I have my assets imported, and I got no errors. You will get a mesh file, a physics asset, and a skeleton. These three are the most important ones. You should also get the materials that you assigned to your objects in Blender. I have them. This is the suit, and this is the skin. That's all you get. But if you had textures assigned to your model in Blender, then you'll also get your textures here. If you have them, you can keep them. No problem. But I'm going to add them later. Now, we have to set these up. First, double-click on the mesh and open it. Now, on this window, let's view the model. Click and move the mouse and use WASD to navigate. Your model should be the same size as mine and look good. If you see weird stuff happening, like a model is deforming, then you did something wrong. Now, check your material slots, this section. Click on this highlighted option, and then you will see which one is assigned to which part. This is my suit, which is assigned to out of it, and this is my skin, which is assigned to body. They are correct. Everything is working perfectly. So let's close this. Now let's apply textures. First, select all your materials, hold Ctrl and multi-select them. Then drag and drop them into the materials folder. When a pop-up appears, choose Move. Now they are in the correct folder. Next, the texture files. We must put all of our textures inside this textures folder. So go inside the textures folder. Now locate your texture files on your disk. The new models textures. These are mine. I have two different texture formats for my body and two for my out of it. One of them is the base color, which is the most important one. The other is called normal map. It's purple colored. This will add detail to the model. Very important to make the model look even more realistic. There are so many other texture formats, but these two are the ones you must have. I'll explain the rest later, but first, locate and find these two formats for your objects that you assigned materials to, your new model that you replaced it with the original one. Then select them from your disk and drag them into the textures folder in Unreal Engine. And that's it, they are imported. Now we need to rename these textures. We are going to rename them with the original model's textures, and that way we replace them. So, go to your fmodel installation directory, and go to Output, Exports. If you remember, the game folder contains the mesh file, and the SP folder contains the textures. Because we exported the mesh, we also have its textures inside this SP folder. If you open the folders inside the SP folder and follow the same path that you had your mesh file in, then you'll end up reaching the texture files for it. These are the ones for my mesh file, and they are inside this directory. You can also find them inside the fmodel, inside the textures folder that's inside the model folder. You might see some extra folders in the texture path. That's because the model you edited, the exported model from fmodel, also uses extra textures from other paths. But they are not that important, so ignore them for now. Now we must locate the textures we need. But which ones do we need? Well, it depends on which material you used and which one was assigned to which part. I used the suit material for my out of it, so I find the suit material textures. These are the ones for suit, and I am going to use their names and replace them with my out of it textures, because I assigned the suit material to my out of it object. That's how it works. Now, to identify which original texture file is for which original material, you can tell by opening the material in fmodel. Inside fmodel, open the 3D mesh file, the one you're modding, and on the left side, in materials, select the material you assigned to your new model. For example, I select a skin because I use this one. Then on the right side, expand the All Textures option, this option here. Now you can view all textures with their format and names that this material uses. Here is the base color. For this material, this is the base color texture. Now you can simply look for the file name in the textures folder and locate it. Simple, right? And the base normal is the purple one, it's the normal map. The rest are also used for this material, and they will affect our new model too, but we'll deal with that later. So do this step and find out which texture are which, then let's rename. I find them. This color and normal map are for my suit material, and this color and normal map are for my skin material. So, I rename the suit texture file names with my out of it textures. I select and copy the suit base color file name, Then I go to my texture folder in Unreal and find my Add of it base color texture. Click on its name, then Ctrl+V to paste it, and done. Then I come back here and copy the normal map name for my suit material texture. It's this one. Then I replace it with my Add of it normal map inside Unreal. This is how it's done. We have to do this step for all of our textures that we want to replace. Now it's time for a skin. This is the original base color for a skin. I copy its name, then find my skin texture file inside Unreal, which is this one, and I rename its name with the one I copied. Then do the same thing for its normal map. By doing this, I told Unreal Engine to apply these textures for the suit material. And by doing that, I'll have my custom textures applied on my custom model. And everything will work just fine. However, there are other texture formats that the materials I assigned to my model are using, like this ORM texture. Because my model is different, the game's ORM texture won't work for me. I can replace this too, but what if your model doesn't have one? You can generate one, but let's say what if you can't? Well, then we can do this. Open this ORM file in image editors like Photoshop or anything else. Then once it's in, select the brush and choose the yellow color. Then paint the whole image, the whole thing, yellow, pure yellow. This will remove the effect and balance everything. After you're done, go to File, Export, Quick Export as PNG, and save it anywhere you like, but keep the original file name, so you don't need to replace it anymore. And after that, put it in your texture folder in Unreal. Make sure the name is correct, and because I didn't touch it, then it's already the original one. Now, another texture that caused problems for me is this mask texture. This is also for suit material that I am using. Your materials can also use these kind of annoying textures, but not all of them are using them. Now, to remove this texture's effect, open it in Photoshop, select the eraser tool, and delete the whole image. If you even let a slight texture remain, that will cause problems, so erase it carefully. Or you can use opacity, like setting it to 0. That also do the trick. We have no textures. Then export it using Quick Export as PNG. Leave the name as original and export it anywhere you like. This should be an empty image. This is it. It's empty, there is nothing there. Put it in the texture folder in Unreal, and this will fix the problem. There is one more texture format you must know about. It's called emissive. It's black and white. White areas will shine, and black won't. So if your material uses this, and you want to remove the effect, open it in Photoshop, and paint the white areas black using the brush. And export it, and put it in the textures folder, and done. And sometimes, this is important, in the textures folder, there are extra folders like this, reference body. Folders like these might include textures that affect your model, affect your material. For my skin material, we have one texture. It's called ORSS texture. This is similar to ORM. It's responsible for shine. Now, if you have this texture for your new model, then replace it. But if not, open it with Photoshop, select the brush, and change the color to gray, and paint the whole texture gray. This will balance things, and make your texture look natural. But if you want your skin to shine more, you can paint it black instead of gray. Now export it as usual. Where do we put this? Not in the texture folder. The directory for this texture is different, starting from the PC folder. You can tell from the directory path shown here. You don't even need fmodel. So copy this folder name chp eve reference body and go into Unreal, and inside the PC folder, create a new folder, then paste the folder name on it. Now open it, then inside, create another folder and name it textures, because that's the path for this file. Then open the textures folder and put this texture in it. This was another way to make folder structure in Unreal. And we find out that it's possible for our mesh, for the materials, have different textures in different folders. One last thing to do about textures is to change their settings. It's so simple. Let's start with the base color. I open the skin texture as an example. And this is where all the information and settings are about this texture. For base color, the default settings works fine, but scroll down and change the texture group from world to character, because this is a character model texture. World will work too, but the right settings is character. Now, here are some useful settings. If your texture, the skin texture, any base color texture, if it's darker than usual, if you think it's dark in game, you need to lighten it up, which is a common problem. Then from here, you can adjust the brightness, increase or decrease it. I mean, you can do the same thing in Photoshop even better. But yeah, this is very useful. After you're done editing, click on the save icon and close the window. That's it. Now, this is important. This is for normal map textures. Make sure to do this. For normal map textures, change the compression setting to normal map DXT5 BG5 on DX11. Yeah, this is the one you need. Then scroll down and change the texture group to character normal map. There is a difference here. Normal map, character normal map. Then save and close. Now, for the ORM, ORSS, and the mask format textures. The default settings works, but I recommend setting the compression settings to all these formats, to masks no sRGB, and the texture group to character specular. And that's it. We are done with textures. Now let's move on to the next step. So, the next step is to set up this skeleton file, because right now, this is not named correctly, and it's not in the correct path either. This will cause the model not to animate and stay in A pose. It's very easy to fix this, but let me explain what's up. Open your mesh file in fmodel. Now, on the left side here, you see this skeleton. This is the one this model originally is using. Look at the name, then look at the one you have in Unreal. This number is different. For me it's 09, but this is 01. Now, in this case, this is what we do. Remember the skeleton name and close the 3D viewer. Then you'll get this info tab in fmodel. We get this whenever we open a file. Here, press Ctrl+F and you'll see a search bar. Now, type the skeleton name. It was ch_p_eve_01_skeleton. Then hit enter, and it will find you the information about it. This is it. If you can't see what is written here, you can hold Ctrl and use your mouse scroll wheel to zoom in. This is the file name, which we already know. And here is the path for it. We didn't know that. Now we do. The path is different, slightly different. The final folder is different. So we need to make this path in Unreal and put our skeleton file in it and rename it. So starting from PC, I make another folder and rename it chp eve 01. I had 9, but this is 1. And that's it, that's the difference. Then I locate my skeleton file and drag it into this new folder and choose Move. After that, I open the folder and make sure to rename the skeleton file to the original skeleton name. The only difference was this number. It's 9 in my case, but it should be 1. And that's it, I did it. And after you're done, before we go, you can check your textures on your mesh file here inside Unreal, so you see if it works or not. This step is not necessary at all. It's just to double check. So, open one of your materials, then in the Nodes section, click on this and move it to a side. Then select this and delete it. Now, put this menu aside and go to your Textures folder. Now, drag and drop the texture for this material inside this Nodes section, like this. Put only the base color and the normal map. Now, connect the base color RGB output to the base color input of this node, like this. Now, connect the RGB output of the normal map to the normal input and save it. Then this will apply on your mesh. If you open the mesh, you will see the change. Do the same thing for all other materials you have, like I did. Then you can see that your mesh file is fully textured. If it looks right, then you're good. This is how it looks in game as well, but with a slight difference in lighting due to different lighting and rendering settings in game. Now let's go and package this. Now go to the content folder or art. Then right click on this empty spot. Go to miscellaneous and choose data asset. In the menu that opens, search for primary. This is it. Select this one. Now that we made it, name it something. Something like label underscore my mod. And open it. After that, we must change some settings here. First, set the priority to 1. Then come to chunk ID, which is this, and give it a number like 305. Anything unique works. Now, uncheck this option. Then in the cook rule, which is this option, set it to always cook. Okay, come to primary asset label, this section, and uncheck these two options. Now we are good to add the files. Come to explicit assets. Then you will see a plus sign. Click on it to add a slot. You need one slot for the mesh file you have and one for each of your texture files. So go check how many you have, how many you need, and come here and add. You can click on this if you add more and delete it. Now we are gonna put the files here inside these slots. Put this aside like this. Then go to your mesh folder and drag and drop this mesh file inside one of the slots. And that's it, that's the mesh file. Now go to the textures folder and add your texture files one by one at a time inside these slots. Add all of them. And done. Don't add materials. Now click save and close this. Next, we must change some options in project settings. So, come to edit from top here and go to Project Settings. Then you will see this window. Here, come to Packaging section. Then make sure these three options are enabled. Tick them. Use pack file, use iOS store, generate chunks. And that's all. Close this. Finally, let's package. Come to File from top here. Then come to Package Project and choose Windows. Then you will see this menu. Don't change the directory, just click Select Folder. Then Unreal will start packaging the files. Give it a few minutes, 2 or 3, and after it's done, it will notify you that packaging is complete. Now we must find the files and install them as a mod. The files by default are in your Documents folder. Documents, Unreal Project, your project name, Windows No Editor, your project name, content, packs. Okay, inside the packs folder you will see these files. The last 3 files, the ones with the chunk ID number that we set, are your mod files. We have 3 formats: pack, ucas, and utoc. Now we have to rename them. Rename it to something clear, like Eve New Custom. After that, add a _p at the end of the name. This part is very important. If you don't add this, it won't work. _p at the end of their name. Now, copy the first file name and paste it over to others. Make sure they all share the same name. This is what you get in the end. 3 files with the same name, with these formats: pack, ucas, and utoc. Now, go to your game installation directory. By default, it's in Steam, Steam Apps, Common, Installer Blade. After you're in Installer Blade folder, navigate to SB, Content, and Packs. Now, inside the Packs folder, make a new folder and name it ~mods with the tilde symbol, yes. Then open it and put that 3 packaged file, which we renamed, inside this. And done, you installed the mod. Now run the game and check your mod. Make sure you're wearing the correct ad of it, so you see the edit, or you won't see the change. As you can see, in my case, my mod works perfectly fine. And that's it. Now, if you want to publish this mod on Nexus, just compress these 3 files to RAR or zip and upload it on Nexus. That's all you need to do. And let me also mention this. When you only edit the existing model, like deleting a part or adjusting the shape, you don't need to touch the materials or weight paint the model, because they are already original and set up. Just rename the armature to armature. Then export it with the same FBX settings and put it into Unreal. Make sure it's in the correct path. And rename this skeleton file and put it in the correct path. Then the materials you have, put them in the correct path too, but there is no textures. No textures necessary, no need for creating a texture folder or add them. This will work just fine. And when you package this, only add the mesh file. No need to add anything else. However, if you want physics to work or add custom physics, that's another guide, which I will work on it in the future. For now, you can check this amazing GitHub wiki for Installer Blade and learn the rest of the things here. It gets updated and has support. Also, check out this Discord server for it. The links are in the video description. And please subscribe, I really need some. Share the video anywhere you like. And if you have any questions, leave a comment below. I answer them all. Thanks for watching and good luck with your modding.